Bop. Boop. Okay. Copy. Roger. I'm trying to get over, myself. That's what I'm trying to do. And welcome to this is Getting to Know We podcast. This is Daniel. I'm back, baby. Oh, man. Just saw a dead deer. Sending a prayer to St. Francis of Assisi, man. Poor deer. They just don't deserve that, man. Anyway, St. Francis of Assisi, hear our prayer for the poor little baby deer. Cool, guys, cool. That is not what I expected this to start, so I'm going to start over and delete that part. Welcome to This Is We... Oh my god, what is it? Welcome to Getting to Know We podcast. I'm Daniel. Thanks for being here. I'm your host today, and the topic of the day is understanding self. This is a pretty touchy subject for our altars, so we'll see who comes. Hopefully they share their names. If not, you got me. Yeah. Thanks for being here. It's currently 3 o'clock Eastern Time, and it is July 4th, and I am praying that we get home safe. Home being somebody else's home. Because we're currently homeless at the moment. But on our way to work. And self, man. Let's talk about it. So, true self. First, I'll start off with DID, dissociative identity disorder, what it is, and why we're having some trouble as a system, and why we are a system, and why we are the way we are. So, a little bit of background here. Dissociative identity disorder is a very severe mental illness, but as a therapist once told me, and the way I like to look at it is instead of a mental illness, it's a superpower. Yes, we're superheroes, thank you. It essentially means that the brain has been through extreme trauma to the point that the brain took away a memory and shoved it way in the back, like in Inside Out. I don't know if anyone saw Inside Out too, but you know how Joy was like, emotion. Oh, I don't like this memory. I'm just going to slingshot it to the back of the brain. Everything will be fine. Compartmentalize. But over time, it exploded, because you can't just live your life like that, suppressing emotions and suppressing trauma. And the way I look at it is when the body was young, like very young, went through extreme trauma through caregivers and people who were supposed to be caregivers but never had one, to be honest with you. And because of that, and the type of events that we went through, our brain was like, I have an idea. At the age of 5, I'm going to make an altar that doesn't experience this at all. Doesn't remember this happening, and instead will make a new self, or version of self, so that the body and the brain and the child who exists at this present time can carry on through life without a problem. Well, as a child. At least that's the idea I see it as, is it has to do with the psyche. All children have multiple personalities until age 7. It's usually when they fuse into one personality, and if everything goes well, the child becomes a single personality. But if they don't, because of trauma, that's how you get DID. And I think we started having DID symptoms when the earliest memory we have is 5. But we're thinking it came a lot earlier than that, and we're going to set a boundary because we're codependent, and we're not going to talk about any more of that right now, but we're going to talk about self. So, selves has been communicated through voices that it is believed that the current number count of our alters are 250, at least 250 plus. We lost track again. And you know, we all share one brain, we all share one nervous system, we all share one body. So technically speaking, we're one person. But that's not the experience internally. Externally, it's one person. Internally, it's 250. So there's like a weird disconnect between that. And that's why we're in therapy. And that's an argument we have with our therapist, like every so often. And that's what it means to be plural, at least in our own experience. It feels like we're 250 people because the body gets taken over. Memory blacks out. We have blackouts. We most of the time don't know what day it is. Most of the time don't know what year it is. If people directly asked us these questions. And so that's why we've been in and out of treatment. But also the hospital, because we also have physical illness as well. So we're battling pretty complex nervous system, pretty complex system in general. And that's why they call it polyfragmentation, is because we're not just one system, we're like 3 systems with different subsystems. It's basically like a circuitry board, is the way I see it, is that our brain and our psyche is essentially a network of people that are interconnected, but not directly connected to others. So, it's a pathway. And that's the way I see it. And this is Lionel. So, that's how I see our systems. And so, that's about all I got, honestly. Currently really struggling with getting to know which is why I made this podcast. It was my idea. It came to fruition with Daniel's help, so I want to say thank you for him, and Leonard as well. One of the many Leonards and Lionels we are. And I don't know, the way it goes for me is it depends on the day. You know, that's the experience, or my experience is depending on the situation, depending on the trigger, our world changes. Like the inner world changes instantaneously. So I don't have any memory of any therapy session, but luckily for me I record them, so I have recordings. And the reason why I record them is so that I can get names, or just hear voices, or just be able to notice that, hey, I think that's a different alter. Hey, I've never heard that person before. Hey, who is that? And it's just a form of communication, and that's where I'm at right now in my recovery journey, is just constantly listening to these recordings, because we have several of them now, to be able to put the pieces together. This is Leonard. I like to put pieces together. That's kind of like how I rock and roll. And for me, it's like putting together sand as a puzzle. little tiny pieces of grains is the puzzle we're trying to put together. And it's not working at all at this current stage. And I don't know why. I really don't know. And that really sucks. Because I want to get better. I want the whole systems to get better. And to me, better looks like less blackouts, more internal communication, less fluidity, or if there is fluidity, more communication switching between alters that are taking over, getting to know the alters that are present or have control of the body, so that we can move from where we are currently, which is not functional whatsoever in society, to being a functional system, DID person, brain. And it takes a lot of work. And so the current work that we're doing is emotional regulation. Yay. We're not even touching on the trauma. We're not even looking at it. We haven't even started hanging out with alters yet. Because before we can even do that, we're realizing that the first step for our systems is different alters need to learn, number one, where they're at. They need to realize what year it is when they do come to the body. And when they do come to the body, they need to realize that, hey, now is not a great time to freak out if you don't know where you are. If you don't know where you are, if you don't know what's happening. Luckily for you, there's 200 over plus other people who may or may not be present that can help. That can help regulate the nervous system so that we're not going into flashbacks, dissociation, body memories, reliving trauma. That we can go to the present and be like, oh, hey, we're actually okay. It's not fun in the present, because being homeless is never fun. But we have alters for that are trying to figure it out, trying to get it together. Alters that have been doing that. Alters that do have us in a current, relatively stable state, at least enough to go to work right now. So I think that counts, man. At least for me. At least for Leonard, one of the Leonards, it counts for me that we're doing it. We're doing this thing together. Whether or not we're aware of it or not. And that's kind of where I'm at in my recovery, and that's all I really have to share. So I think just keep doing what we're doing, keep the regulation going, keep the mindfulness going, keep the journals and the bullet journals and the art and the music and the daily reflection going. Because at least when I find recordings, journals, it makes me feel better. Because I know that someone out there is trying, and that's all that counts in my book. So that's all I have to say. Thanks, Leonard. This is Daniel again. I got the last part of what he said, where it matters, and that's huge to me. That's so cool that there is an alter out there that, like Leonard, that is a puzzle guy. You know, he like he said, it's putting pieces of sand together. It's making sand art is what it sounds like. And it shifts every day to me. At least that's my interpretation as well with the systems and subsystems and different people and multiple people and fragments. But I also concur that getting present, staying present, getting real with what's around you, and realizing that, hey, right now there's some really bad stuff that happened in the past. Like, I acknowledge it. But right now, in this very second, I'm okay. I'm by myself with the body. And we're okay. And that's enough in this moment, right now. That's enough. Does it mean I'm not scared, terrified, worried? No. And those are valid emotions to experience when I need to experience them. But right now, I'm chill. And I'm chill because I'm enjoying seeing where this podcast goes. So thank you, Leonard, for sharing. I really appreciate that, man. So that was really powerful. Anybody else have anything to share? I do. This is Emma. And I hate it. I hate being a system member. I hate what happened to me. I hate the people that did it to me. But I know that I can't live my life like that. Like my present life. Like right now. My present life right now, I want to be happy. And in order to be happy, I really have to surrender so much. Because whatever people did to me, the trauma is mine. Like, the memories are mine. And I need to deal with that eventually. But not today. I know that's not today. And that's enough for me. But what isn't mine is I was not in control of any of it that happened. And so I resolved myself from that shame and that guilt because that was not mine. I was not in control of whether or not whatever bad thing happened, insert here, to the body, I'm so sorry that happened to me. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry because somebody has to be. Because no child deserves what happened to us. At all. Ever. And I just want that to be known. So, yeah, we've been through a lot. Yeah, it's really hard. But we are doing it, and I agree. And there's a lot of boys in this system, but I think the girls got to stick together too. So, I know there's a Miranda out there somewhere, and she's really, really strong. And with that, I think that's all I have to share. And I just want to say, we are doing it. One step at a time. So, here to the systems behind Anonymous Beats. And with that, I think that's enough sharing. So I'm gonna say thank you all for listening, and I will catch you at the next one.